Hi again. I am Terry Person. You're about to begin part 3 of my series, Make Money Writing a Freelancer's Intensive, which will explain the key elements you need to know in order to start a freelancing career. If you watched earlier episodes, you know that I've been freelancing for a long time from both sides of the desk, both acquisitions as well as freelancing and pitching. And part 1 explains a little bit more. If you're really interested, you can go back and watch part 1. In the meantime, let's get started. Before I start, this is the anatomy of a magazine. The anatomy of a magazine. And before I get started, I want you to pause the video for a second and go to my website, terryperson.com, TerryPersun.com. Go to the events page and download the anatomy of a magazine PDF from there. You'll want to have that handy so you can look at it while I'm talking. And I will go ahead and let you do that. Okay, now that you're back, in the PDF download, you'll notice that there are 7 pages of images that show magazine components. The 8th page is to illustrate parts of a media kit, so I'll get to that in a moment. You don't have to go through all 7 pages of magazine information at this point. All you need to do is focus on that first page or any one of the pages because all the components are there, and I'll go through them one at a time. So I'll use whichever example you feel like you want to be on, and then you can scan the others later. I also urge you, of course, to pick up magazines and around the house or buy new magazines and familiarize yourself with these components. Look through the magazines, find the components after I'm done here. You have 7 of them to choose from. That's always fun. And we'll go from there. So first off is the cover. Obvious, I know. But what freelancers need to understand is that the cover art most often reflects one of the features within the magazine. You want to eventually write the feature that the editors choose to illustrate on the cover. Covers, as they say, are priceless. So covers are very important. Pay attention to them. This is really great, especially if you're doing this for visibility. The second image, top right on the PDF, shows the table of contents. This can be 1 or 2 pages. It depends on which page you're looking at. You'll see what's going on there. It's pretty simple to understand. And this gives you an idea of what features the magazine's covers, but it also supplies you with key information many freelancers don't know or don't pay attention to. The section called departments means that those focus areas are in every issue. I want to point this out because departments are the places where editors are often lacking material. The material is often shorter there as well. So this is a key place where new writers can break into a magazine. So if you're just beginning with a certain magazine, even if you've been writing for other magazines, you can always break in through the departments section a lot easier than anywhere else. Most freelancers are looking to write feature material. So the departments are where the editors have to really struggle to get the stuff they need. So, good point. Now, the bottom left on whichever page you're looking at on the PDF is the masthead. Simply put, this is where you find the names of the editors. For many trade magazines like Machine Design, which you'll find in the PDF, you can find out what specialty pieces a particular editor is responsible for. So if they're working for motion control, you'll want to talk to the motion control editor if that's the kind of story you're submitting. Writing to the right editor for your piece can mean the difference between getting published and not getting published, which is really key here. So pay attention to who the editors are and what they're up to. If you don't have all the editors, submit to an assistant or an associate editor if you don't know them very well, because the editor-in-chief may not recognize your name and won't even look at the piece. So start at the bottom if you have to. Once you get to know the editor-in-chief, feel free to submit to them. Finally, I like to point out the editorial page. Get to know the editor of the magazine you're looking to send articles to. Notice that what they talk about, what they're interested in, and perhaps find similarities you have with them. This is really important because once you do that, you can then in your query letter say, oh, I've read several of your editorials and it seems like this is a key focus for you or a key concern, and I can help with that by writing this article. So it helps you a lot in order to work with your query letter. I often also email the editor directly, even if I'm not pitching the magazine, particularly if I like something they said. Now, you don't do it every month. You do it once in a while when the editor has something of real importance for you. So now, that's the magazine parts. If you go to the last page of the PDF, page 8, you can see I have a copy of a media kit. My daughter works for Parent Map magazine, so I thought I'd use their media kit, which is really well done, and it gives you all the pieces you'll need. I'll go through this real quickly because once you see a media kit, you'll start to get a better feel for them. You can find media kits online or by contacting the magazine's editors directly. They'll often send, or the salesperson, they'll send you a media kit. So the parts are important while researching where you want to publish. The cover isn't that important for the media kit, but I included here just because it'd be kind of cool if you did have an article last year and it ended up in the media kit's cover this year. Always fun. The top right image provides the potential places you can place your work. It's not just print magazines or online magazines. It's also e-newsletters or directories or any number of things that the magazine happens to publish under its one single title. The bottom left of this provides the key circulation. We talked about this last session. The circulation is very important. It gives you an idea what the circulation is. It also tells you the demographics of the circulation so you know who your audience is and who you're speaking to. This is great. For any magazine out there, you want to know who you're talking with because that's how you know what to write about. So this is information that you'll use to focus your articles. Now, bottom right, the most important part of this media kit and any media kit for freelancers is the editorial calendar or the editorial planner, which lets you know what articles the magazine's guaranteeing it will run. This is where you can pitch for a piece that is several months out, where you can then, once you're accepted, guarantee that you've got publication coming up with your piece assigned to a particular month based on the editorial calendar. Look that calendar over. This will tell you exactly what it is they're looking for, often year after year after year. So just because you missed a particular thing this year, it's a good chance they'll have a similar type article next year. So that's it. Again, if you haven't already done so, download the Anatomy of a Magazine from the PDF from my site, terryperson.com, on the events page. So that's it. Next time, we're going to cover the basic magazine types, magazine article types. So that's what we have, and I will see you soon. Thanks.